Dear learners, this is Shashi Ramachandran. In this video, we are going to understand the rules of debit and credit. This is from class 11th accountancy. So, in my previous video, I explained while learning the process of accounting, you learn that there is a step called classification. Once the transactions are recorded in the journal, then we classify them according to their nature, and we prepare each and every account. Like for every term, we prepare an account. Now, what is this account? Account records the transactions in a particular head. Like we have account for each and every item separate, like a different and separate account. Say cash account, machinery account, furniture account, expenses, rent account, wages account, bills payable account. So for every item in a business, we prepare a separate account so that we can get a correct balance and correct picture of that particular item. So this is the format of account where we have a name of the account on the top, and there are, you can see here, there are two sides. One says debit and another says credit. So this is a side here which says debit, and this side says CR, stands for credit. So we call it as a debit and credit. So you can see this side, date particular amount, date particulars amount. So here, like this account, this format is divided in two sides. One is a debit, another is a credit side. So here debit is nothing but the left hand side of the account is called as debit, and right hand side is referred to as a credit. So now we'll understand what exactly this debit and credit are placed, like why we call it as debit and credit, and what we are going to write on this debit side and what will be written on the credit side. So based on the, like according to the nature of the account, we have the importance of this debit and credit. So now we are going to understand the classification of accounts and the rules related to them. So the accounts are classified into two categories. One is a traditional approach, another is a modern approach. There is a two classification, types of classification. One called traditional approach, another is a modern approach. So moving to the first one, that is traditional approach. Again, in a traditional approach, there is a personal account and impersonal account. Okay, so personal account, as the name says, it is related with the person, name of the persons. Surely we have, like in business, we have a transaction with person Mr. Ram, Mohan, Sham, can be a supplier or a or a customer, or someone like from whom we have taken a raw material or sold the goods, or something like workers, employees, all these are the person. Same way we have a interaction with the institutions, firms, different firms for purchasing raw material, okay, selling the goods to the retailers. And then we have person, those who have we have banks, again the institution. So personal account is related to the name of a person, means the individual person or a firm or a corporate sector, companies, creditors. So all these are, whether it is a natural person or a artificial person, all includes in this personal account. Now, other than personal account, we have other type of account also in the books which we maintain. So other books are like we buy assets. So we have machinery account, and we have expenses and income also. So other than person, all are which are not personal, they are impersonal. Say machinery account, expenses related like wages account, rent account, cash account, all these are non-personal, we can say, or impersonal account. Now this personal account is categorized as three. We are going to understand this in the next slide. And impersonal is again of two type, like real and nominal. So mainly the rules are of personal, real and nominal. So this personal, these three types of personal account again these three types will have a same rule. The rule applicable to the personal account will be applicable to natural personal, artificial personal or representative personal account. Then we have real account rule and also nominal account. So let's understand it one by one. So let's understand the types of personal account. Now, as I said, personal account is related with the individual's name or the firm's name or something like a group of persons. So that way only it is divided. One is a natural personal account which is related with the name of the person, natural. So if we have an account, if we have a transaction with a person, individual, that comes under natural personal account. And in case we are interacting or having an account of any corporate bodies, any institution, any bank, firms, clubs, these are all artificial personal account, because again they are the transaction between us and them will be like with the help of the name only, name of the person or a firm, name of the firm or a institution. So they are again artificial personal account. You can see State Bank of India, ABC Limited, clubs, cooperative societies, all these are artificial personal account. And the third category is representative personal account. In this category, it's not an individual but a group of person. That is representative personal account. So when I say rent, of course it's an expense. But if I say outstanding rent, it says that rent which is due but not paid. So for to whom it is due and to whom it is not yet paid, that actually gives you the group of those persons to whom the rent is not paid or the wages are not paid. So that outstanding rent, whenever there is a prefix, you can say outstanding, prepaid, unearned, that becomes your personal account, because this actually represent the group of person to whom the expenses are not yet paid or income is not yet received from them. So that is representative personal account. Now we'll understand the rule of personal account. As I said, the rule is for all this. This comes under personal account only. So we'll understand what the rule says. Personal account rule says that debit the receiver and credit the giver. If I say debit the receiver, as I said that we are now talking about person. So if the person is on the receiving end, he is going to be debited. If a person is giver, then his account is going to be credited. So I hope now you will understand. Just see that, remember the account we have prepared. So debit the receiver. Whom you are going to debit? The one who is receiving. The one who is giving is to be credited. Okay, so here again remember always that we always see from the firm's point of view. So a person who is like there is like two category we can say here. There are two category. One is a firm, another is a person. So if I say this firm has purchased goods from this person, so now this person is a giver. So here he is a giver. So what we are going to do is he's a give, since he is a giver, so we are going to credit his account. If the goods are sold to the person, now he is a receiver. So what we are going to write, do this person account we are going to maintain, and how, what, where we are going to write it, what we are going to do it, like we are going to debit it. So this is the way it is recorded. So the rule says debit the receiver, credit the giver. So this is a rule for personal account. And remember, this is the types, all types of personal account comes under one category, has only one rule. Okay, now moving back, we understood this personal account, different types of personal account, and also the rule of personal account. Now coming to this impersonal, there are two categories, real and nominal. As I said, we have a rule for real account as well as nominal account. So let's understand real account. Now you can see in this slide, you can see the picture here. There are machineries, there are like there is a furniture, office furniture here, some brands you can see here. Okay, and then this copyright term. So all these are real account. So what is real account? The assets, fixed assets, the tangible assets and the intangible assets of the firm is called as real account. So in this category, we have all the tangible and intangible assets. So let's understand the rule for this. What is the rule for real account? Debit what comes in. So now if I am talking about real account means I am talking about fixed assets, machineries or intangible assets, goodwill. So if it comes into the business, again the same thing, firm, from the firm's point of view. If it is entering into the business, it's coming in, debit that account. If it is going out, if you're selling your assets, it will be credited. If you're purchasing the assets, it is debited. As simple as that. Okay, now moving to the third category, that is nominal account. So what we understood, personal account and real. Coming to this nominal account, now here as I said, other than the person or the assets of the business, there are some account which are open during the year and they are used to calculate the profit and loss, and later on they are closed. Fine. So these are the actual thing which expenses incurred, losses, income. So income, expenses are the account which comes under nominal account. So nominal account is related with all those accounts which are like expenses, losses, gains, revenues, income, profit. So all these are nominal account. So you can see here rent account, salary account, sales account, interest received account, interest paid account, bad debts is again a loss. So all these are nominal account. So of course the rule will be as per the nature of the account. So it says that debit all losses and expenses, credit all gains and income. So whenever the firm incurred any loss or expense, that account has to be debited. When there is a profit or income, then that account is to be credited. So it's like debit when there is an expense, and which account to be credited? The profit and the income account are to be credited. So this way we have these three rules, and these three rules actually are called as a golden rules of the accounting. Golden rules of accounting, where we have personal account, real account and nominal account. And personal account, debit, credit. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Same with nominal account, debit all expenses and losses, credit all gains and income. So you are going to remember this as a golden rules of accounting. It's very precious, so remember that. Okay, now as I explained here, classification of accounts, there is a traditional approach which we just now we did, that according to traditional there is a personal, real and nominal account, and as per the modern approach. Now modern approach says the accounts are divided into these five categories. All the accounts what we have, like it's like asset account, liability account, capital account, revenue account and expenses account. So these are the five categories in which the accounts are divided as per modern approach. Now the modern approach says there is no real, nominal and all. So again it is like five, these five. Now in this one, in this actually, like this account again have some rule, that asset has a different rule, liability has a different rule, capital again. So let's understand this. Now this actually goes like when you are preparing an account, asset account, what is to be debit, what is to be credit. Liability account, what is to be debit and what is to be credited. So let's understand. For the asset, when there is an increase in the asset, it is to be debited. When there is a decrease in the asset, then it is to be credited. So again, your account debit side, another is a credit side. So when the account increases means asset increases in the firm, it is recorded on the debit. And if asset decreases in the firm, it is recorded on the credit. And for the liability it's reverse, because the nature wise also asset and liability are reverse in nature. So debit is decrease and credit is increase. So this is the rule of liability account, that increase is recorded on the debit side and increase is recorded on the credit side and decrease is recorded on debit side. Now capital has the same nature of liability, so again the same rule. Revenue, same rule. Remember, liability, capital, and revenue has the same rule because they are of same nature. Coming to expenses, so we can see expenses and assets. These two have same rules, where it says when expenses are increased, when you pay wages, it's debit, and when there is a decrease, then it is credit. So now these two rules, simple thing you have to understand, that usually the traditional approach is best used for passing journal entries, that is recording. And modern approach rules are helpful for when for posting into the ledger, or we can say directly if we are preparing a ledger, these rules help us a lot. Modern approach and the traditional approach help us to pass the journal entries. So hope you like this video. Share this video with your friends and do subscribe to my channel Exuberant Learners. Also click on the bell icon to get the latest updates on my channel. Thank you.